Hello and welcome to my Friday Night Live. Tonight I am talking about why am I so horny? And I've asked myself that question many times over the years. And I've had a lot of people ask me that question. People who think that they are also very horny and they wonder why they are so horny. And then there's other people who aren't horny and they wonder why they aren't. So then they want to ask me, well, why are you? I want to do what you're doing. So it's definitely something that I've asked myself a lot throughout my whole life, like as an adult, obviously, because I've always had a high sex drive. And I remember in my 20s, or I think I was in my teens when I first heard that guys have their sexual prime in their teens or something, and women have it in their 20s or 30s or something. And then I remember when I was in my 40s, somebody saying that, oh, the 40s, that's when women are in their sexual prime. And then I've more recently heard that it's in the 50s. I'm like, is it though? Because I hear often about women, especially women in marriages who have no, and single women too, who admit that they have zero sex drive. And I wonder about that. I'm going to float my own theory in the course of this live stream. So I'm not a scientist and I really have no idea why I'm so horny. So let's just get that out there right now. However, I do have some theories. So I thought I would share my theories with you tonight. And my first theory is I have a really clean diet for the most part because of having Crohn's and a lot of gastrointestinal issues over the years. I've had to get very strict on my diet. And I know that food, because I know from experience that food is our medicine and it's also our poison. So I'm very careful about the poisonous foods and try to avoid them as much as possible. And I eat a really clean diet. So maybe, just maybe, that could be part of the reason why I'm so horny. The next reason that I think I might be is, that saying, use it or lose it. Well, I've always made sure to use it. So even when I haven't been in a relationship, or even when I've been in a relationship but wasn't having sex for one reason or another. And one of those reasons was because I had lost interest in my partner. And another reason was because I was too sick. So different times in my life, different reasons. But during those times, even, I still used it because I just used my own modes of self-pleasure to make sure that I, addressed those needs. So those needs were still there. And I think I remember even when I was sick, telling myself that this was part of my self-care plan because I thought, and like I said, I'm not a scientist, but I surmised that all of those good hormones that get released in your body when you have an orgasm, I feel like they're good for you and could be healing. I hope. I don't know. But I thought, especially because I was in a lot of pain and I was suffering a lot, that whenever I felt well enough to self-pleasure when I was sick, I would do that. And it was part of my healing plan. So I would love to know if that's actually real or not, or if that's just something I believe. Another reason I think that I am so horny is because I just find all men beautiful. And actually, it's not just men, it's women too. Transgender, non-binary, everybody. I find everybody beautiful. I just love the beauty in people. And I think that because I appreciate visually, which is very masculine, like everybody knows men are very visually stimulated, whereas women are more mind stimulated. But we are also visually stimulated. And I engage in enjoying the beauty of people. And if I see a man like running down the street and his shirt is like showing his nipples and he's, I don't know what it is about men exercising, but I also really like to watch men playing sports for the same reason. Yeah. So what was my point again? Oh yes, because men are beautiful. I don't even have my chat open. Let me see if anyone said anything. Nope. So I think that's part of the reason why I'm so horny. Another big reason, and this is when I'm going to float my theory on why a lot of women lose their sex drive at my age. And I think maybe one of the reasons why I am so horny is because I'm not on any medications. And I really have chosen to stay away from medications as much as possible because my health issues all started with a pharmaceutical injury. And then going through the medical system of dealing with really not very nice nurses, doctors, lots of nice ones too, don't get me wrong. But when you're really vulnerable, weak, and at your lowest and scaredest and most aloneness, that's when you can't handle the people who are horrible. And there's a lot of freaking horrible people in the medical industry. And it's a broken system. It's just a broken system. So I don't take meds at all. And learning about mind stimulation, hey, Michael, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't take meds. So I think that might be one of the reasons why I'm so horny and why this is relevant to my theory about why a lot of women at my age aren't horny is that I was watching this podcast the other day. It's kind of viral, so you may have seen it too. And it's this woman being interviewed. I think I even shared it on my socials. This woman is being interviewed and she's talking about the birth control pill. And she said that studies have shown that the birth control pill can impact who you're attracted to, how much sex drive you have, how you handle difficult situations. Anyway, it's a fascinating interview, and I learned a lot. And here's my story about birth control. When I was a teenager, I started taking it, and then I think I was like maybe 19 or 20. And I got really depressed and I didn't know why I was depressed because I didn't really have anything that shitty going on in my life. And I know, like, I didn't realize it then, but I know now depression, you don't really need to have something shitty happening in your life. But I was still just so confused. And I started going to a counselor. And we talked about all my problems and, but it wasn't helping. It was not helping. So this went on. I probably saw a counselor for about maybe 6 to 8 weeks. And the depression had been kind of like really heavy for about maybe 2 months before I started seeing the counselor. And long story short, I couldn't afford my birth control pill the next month and I went off of it temporarily was the plan. And what happened was within a few days of being like off the pill, my depression just disappeared. It just lifted. It was just gone. And because of that, I never took birth control again. Never ever took it again because that cured me. I did not want to feel that way because of something that I had control over. Obviously, if you have depression that's not caused by something you have control over, then it's a horrible situation. You can't do anything about it. But if you can find a cause and you can address it, then your depression could be gone. And so I knew birth control caused depression for me, so I never took it again. But a lot of women, maybe even most women, it doesn't cause depression, I'm guessing, because most of the women that I know and have known over the course of my life have been on the pill for years and years and years. And so this is my theory that a lot of the women my age who are losing their sex drive and not wanting to make love with their husbands or their partners, I believe it's possible that maybe a lot of them were on the birth control pill for so many years that it has had a really negative impact on their horniness. I'm not a scientist. I've said it a couple times now. No idea if that's true. It's just a theory, but I don't know, right? Maybe I avoided taking the pill all those years because I stopped when I was really young. So maybe that has helped me be more horny. And the rest of the things I have that I think are more along the lines of how I make love. This is part of the reason why I think I'm so horny, because I think that when you have really fulfilling intimacy, that it makes you want to do it again. And when you have, whatever intimacy, then you don't care if you do it again. So the more quality intimacy you have, then the more often you want to do it. So the hornier you are. So I really know how to draw out a tease. I really believe in putting in the effort and the time to make an intimate encounter worth it. So let's have some mood music. Let's have mood lighting. Let's not have the TV on at all the whole evening, please. Uh, just, I don't know, eye gazing. When you just look in someone's eyes and talk and find them interesting and ask them questions and become curious about them and get to know them, and the connection, building all the connection. I know how to do that. And I love all that part of making love, like the chase and the building of the excitement and all of that. I think it's so important. I think a lot of long-term relationships lose that because people just get stuck in their usual way of doing it. And I think you can have sex exactly the same way over and over, as long as the way you do it is a lot of connection at the beginning and teasing and prolonging all of that, and just, enjoying the moment and what you have right now. There's no rush. There's no big rush, and yeah, as parents, it does feel like a rush sometimes. I think that's the hardest part for, like, when I'm a mom. My kids are all older now, so I don't have that soul crushing fatigue that that all mothers have when they have young children, and they're feeling overwhelmed, and it can be hard to get in the mood for sex when you're exhausted, you know. So I think that does get in the way. And certainly during those parts of my life, I didn't do it as often because I didn't even know what day it is. And those years last, like, while the kids are all young. But oh no soul crusher left. Thanks a lot, Mel. Now I feel really bad about saying that. No, my kids are my favorite people in the whole entire world. I am So lucky. So lucky. But I don't want to talk about my kids when I'm talking about being horny. Come on. Come on, Mel. So the final reason that I think I'm so horny, excuse me, I need a drink. Don't worry, it's just tea. I've been sober for, I think, 1 month and 3 weeks or something like that. So the final reason that I believe that is a reason why I'm so horny is that I don't watch very much porn. And the reason I say that is only because I very recently, like in the last 6 months, I think, I'd have to look back and see when I posted my blog post about pornography. And I can't remember what the title of it was now either. But I remember the name of the book that I read that I was doing research on porn, because a lot of people say that porn is addictive and a lot of people say that porn is not addictive. And it's a very contentious issue. And I had always believed that porn was just something that people could add to their, you know, repertoire, their sexual repertoire, to increase in excitement, or, a harmless thing that you could, engage in. And I'm not going to lie, I have looked at porn, okay? And I was, even though as a mother, I do think there should be paywalls, and kids shouldn't be able to find porn easily online, I won't lie that I did surf the free porn. I know, I feel like such a hypocrite. But yeah, so porn. It actually, I believe now, after reading this book called The Brain on Porn, not Your Brain on Porn, I think it's The Brain on Porn. And he basically explains about how our reward centers in our brain, and just how the internet works. And it's not just porn, it's social media. There's a very similar kind of action going on with the, instant gratification thing. And then with porn, it goes even deeper, because we are wired to seek sex. We're wired to want to have sex with other people and partner up and make babies and, reproduce and all of that stuff. So because porn interferes with that, it interferes with our brain, it interferes with that process. And I do personally believe, from talking with the people I've talked to in my work, and just my being in this industry and seeing a lot of the behavior that goes on with adult content, I feel that a lot of men, and I hope no one feels offended by this, but I feel that a lot of men are replacing a real life experience with a virtual experience through porn and through engaging with adult content creators like myself. And I don't think that's 100% healthy. I think it's something that is useful when there's no other options, like say you're in jail or something. But I worry about the young men today who are not leaving their houses. They just stay home, play video games, and don't go out and meet people. And I'm just worried. I love people. I love everybody. And I worry about the impact that porn can have on people, especially after reading this book. So I think, because I've never really engaged very, obsessively with porn. I really like, I have fantasies. I imagine the things that turn me on, and I can't talk about that on a live stream. That's all over socials. But we all have our little, our, I don't want to say script. It's like a motion picture, right? But we're there. And the imagination is powerful, and we need to exercise it, especially in conjunction with our sexual desires, our sexual urges, and our sexual functioning. And I'm not a scientist, but there is science that does back what I'm saying. But obviously, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. But I do believe that porn can be a problem, a replacement for something that is way better in real life, way better. And we should all be trying to have the most beautiful, passionate, exciting, wonderful, amazing love affairs and relationships and experiences that we could possibly have. And yes, that's scary, because those highs are going to mean that there's going to be real low lows, because that's how life goes. When a relationship is so amazing and then there's a betrayal, or a relationship is so amazing and there's a death, or whatever countless reasons, you're on top of the world, and then you are suddenly cut down by pharmaceutical injury and lose everything. This is life. Everybody's life is like this. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. It's meant to be stressful. And so instead of focusing on life being stressful, which it's just naturally going to be, we have to embrace every moment, not escape from it through video games or porn or scrolling social media. There's no escape. There is an escape, but just remember that when you're engaging in those behaviors, you're missing out on your whole life. And your whole life, you don't know how long it's going to last. Like, today could be your last day. Today could be any of our last day. I could have not shown up for my live stream and left you all hanging about why am I so horny? Because you never know what could happen. And because I've had that happen, where everything in the blink of an eye is just destroyed, taken from me, and my whole plan, my whole world, my whole future just crumbles before my eyes. I know how fast it can be taken from you. And I just urge you to go out and embrace your life and live your life. And don't waste it. Don't waste it with people who make you feel like shit. Don't do that. Only one person is responsible for your happiness, and it's you. And if today is all you have, then today you've got to make sure you put your happiness first. And I'm not saying that, that to be selfish. Obviously, we need to take our responsibilities, obligations, and other people's feelings into consideration. But the wonderful thing about changing our lives is it doesn't have to be a fight. It doesn't have to be a war. It can be a peaceful transfer of power, a peaceful new beginning. You can let go with love. You can walk away from things that are not good for you, and you can come back if you want to, too. Nothing is permanent. Nothing. That is the truth about life. Nothing's permanent. It all just constantly changes. I was with a man for many years who I thought I was going to spend my life with. And I'm single again. And I'm okay. In fact, I'm great. I love my life. Woo! Do you love your life? Tell me in the comments if you love your life. There's so much to love about life. Like, I was lying in bed this morning and I was thinking about how much I just feel so grateful that I can wake up and get up and take my daughter to school. And, you know, right now she's on the lunch program and I don't even have to make her lunch. I'm grateful for that. And I find so many things to be grateful throughout the day, grateful for. And that came because I almost died. That came because my life was taken from me. And when I spent years and years just being sick and not being able to live and watching everyone else live their lives, all I could think about was what really mattered and how I would never take anything for granted ever again. Because, like, things as simple as being able to walk up the stairs or dance or even talk, have a conversation with a stranger. Like, these were all things I couldn't do for a long time. And I didn't know if I'd ever be able to do them again. And now I'm just so grateful that I can run up the stairs. I got a skipping rope and I can skip, and I got up to 44 skips. That's huge for me because I only started skipping like 2 weeks ago. And at first it was hard to do one. So, I mean, it's just there's so many more things I want to experience before I kick the bucket. But what if I kick the bucket tomorrow? So I need to do as much as I can today. And that's why I'm so horny, because I'm horny about life. Now, is there anyone else in the comments who are horny? Mel? Michael, are you guys horny? Sorry to put you on the spot. I'm going to let you all go now. Thank you for listening to my live stream about why I think I'm so horny. I basically said what I eat, because use it or lose it. I enjoy the beauty of men. I don't take any meds. I love to draw out a tease. And I know the basics of establishing a connection. And finally, I don't watch that much porn. A little bit, though. I'm not going to lie. But for all those reasons, that's why I think I'm so horny. Why are you so horny? Oh, Ava, you're horny too. I knew it. Oh my gosh. You know it, Mel. You guys are awesome. And I've done it. I've made it half an hour, 30 minutes. I didn't think I would actually go that long today. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in 1 week. Oh, before I go, though, I want to see. Oh, probably because we're short. All right. Au revoir.